And now, News 2 Sports Overtime.
The Sertoma Classic canceled for the 2019 season. Reaction from coaches and what the club president had to say coming up tonight.
Plus another coaching change for the Stingrays in less than a year. We hear from the new Rays leader and much more coming up tonight.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brianne Welch, as always, alongside Logan Reber. You're watching News 2 Sports Overtime, and we all love a good story of living the dream, and this weekend was the best platform for it. Of course, the NFL Draft.
Yeah, a whole lot of hugs. We got man tears and one nearly broken commissioner later. It all came to an end with a whole lot of guys we are very familiar with coming off the board. It is our leadoff.
The leadoff is sponsored by Universal Marble.
We knew it was going to be a loaded draft when it came to Clemson players, at least, but what we didn't know is that the group would be making history this weekend in Nashville, and that's because of the defensive line. Almost all going in the first round, let alone all in the top 17 picks.
Clelin Ferrell going 4th overall to the Raiders. Christian Wilkins nearly decapitating, that's putting it mildly, the commissioner of the league with a shoulder bump that would make Hulk Hogan look wide-eyed as he gets drafted at number 12. Then Dexter Lawrence drafted 17th overall. He goes to the Giants.
The first time 3 defensive linemen all went in the first round since 2006 when NC State did it with headliner Mario Williams. He went number 1 overall.
And that was just the half of it, though. Trayvon Mullen went in the 2nd round also to the Raiders, and joining him was Hunter Renfrow, who was drafted in the 5th round. The Raiders trying to become Clemson West with 3 players from the school.
A 4th defensive lineman was also drafted, Austin Bryant. He went to the Lions, 117 overall.
And how about those Gamecocks? Cornerback Rashad Fenton and offensive tackle Dennis Daly. They both went in the 6th round, Fenton to Kansas City and Daly to Carolina. But USC was best represented by Deebo Samuel, the big play wide receiver heading to the Bay, as he was drafted by San Francisco on day 2 at number 36, as you see an ecstatic crew with him when he received the news, and an emotional moment for Deebo as he talked about what this whole process has been like since his time at Carolina ended and what the Niners saw in him.
Really got started January 1st. I wanted to spend Christmas with my family, so I didn't leave too early, but January 1st really got started. I was out there training at Arizona Exos with AJ and DK and Paris Campbell, the guys like that. And after then, we was just getting ready for the combine. It was strictly business. We was pushing each other to be better every day, day in and day out. After the combine, my pro day was on the 21st, and I worked on things to get better from the pro day. And after that, just really was taking visits and doing workouts with teams. Kind of just the relationship we built from the Senior Bowl, just showing them, and I was in their offense, so I feel like they'll want a player that kind of know and have a little sense about what they got going on.
So many great stories from guys from the Palmetto State, but maybe the best local story involving the draft, Will Grier, the West Virginia quarterback. His father, Chad, is the head coach for Oceanside football, and all of the Griers were in Charlotte as a family to see where Will was going to go. And as fate would have it, Grier was already home. The Carolina Panthers drafted Will. See him getting the news right there. Then he's with his dad, his wife, and his son. The coolest part, Will started watching Panthers games with his dad when he was 3 years old. Now, he's the one who gets to lace up for his childhood squad.
So it was almost like unexpected because the phone rang. We're in the middle of like just talking about whatever, and he looks down and he goes, it's a 704 number. And, his agent goes, it's the Panthers, pick it up, and we're all just like in this, spontaneous, moment of like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And then you could just see it in his face. I mean, as a dad, it's just that's the coolest. Short of my kids being born, my granddaughter, and seeing his face light up like that was really cool.
Now, just under a week after being bounced in the same round by the same team in the ECHL playoffs, the Stingrays organization got flipped around for the 2nd straight year with a coaching change on Friday. It all happened in a whirlwind. The team announcing Spiros Anastas was relieved of his duties and that they would already have a new head man in place to take that spot, and that was assistant coach Steve Bergen. And all of this before people could even grab a coffee to start their day at 8 a.m. As for Bergen, he served as an assistant for the last 3 years and actually interviewed for the job last offseason before the team went with the outside hire of Anastas. He could have searched for other coaching gigs elsewhere, but he decided to stay loyal and remain on the staff without hesitation. Now, Bergen is also a former player who won 3 SPHL titles with the Pensacola Ice Flyers. Now he comes full circle as a head coach.
This is awesome. This is why you do it. And then obviously spending 3 years here, and like I said, you realize how important this is to so many people. And You know, you kind of bear that, you know, that responsibility. This means the world to me. You know, it's a really great day for myself and my family.
As a former player too, he's won 3 championships, so it's not like he's trying to get these guys to do things and he hasn't been in those positions, and he's willing to continue to learn and work with the young players. This is a developmental league, and that's what you need to do, and you need to keep these guys engaged and ready to play on a daily basis, which at times can be challenging.
What we're looking for is there respect? Is there a view of someone who can communicate with the players but be tough on them? Can he teach them? And at the end of the day, you know, I think there was a view that you know, they had a good relationship with Steve. He's well liked, but he's well respected, and he works incredibly hard.
Truly, so much has changed over the course of the last 5 years. We can now see what a black hole looks like. Your phone can know who you are by just looking at it. I know, she's really surprised. And having horses in the back now makes you literally the coolest person ever, apparently. Well, one thing had not changed. Wando's postseason reign, 4 straight state titles, and the search to put one more on the thumb. Well, unfortunately, that came to an end with Fort Mill. They just seem to have their number this year. They beat them in the regular season and also a 13-8 final as the Warriors are eliminated for the first time since 2014.
And 2 local schools battled it out for the state title in 4A, but it just happened. OCA got all of the Bishops yesterday afternoon. 16-5 is the final. That's back-to-back titles for the Land Sharks.
But don't stress too much, Bishop fans. The girls held it down for you. The Lady Bishops, once again, your lacrosse champions. They take down Christ Church, who was in their first title game appearance, a 15-4 final, and now a 4-peat for the Battling Bishops.
High school baseball playoffs started last week, so let's give you an idea of where we stand right now. Saturday saw many elimination games for teams in our area, and after that, here is who is still alive and going to play for a district title tomorrow night. In 5A, Fort Dorchester pulled out a 4-1 win over South Florence, so now they're preparing for a rematch against Dutch Fork for the District 8 title. That's tomorrow. Ashley Ridge got a win over Lexington, so they have St. James tomorrow. Somerville took home a 6-1 win against Cane Bay. They advanced to District 5 title game versus Chapin. When it comes to 3A, Hanahan blanks Churros 6-0. They'll play Gilbert for the District 6 championship. And then Academic Magnet, they are also moving on. They beat May River 6-5. They'll play Strom Thurman on Monday. A lot of teams in action.
Yeah, how about over with softball? Oceanside beat Johnsonville in a thriller on Thursday, and they will face Bangbird Earhart on Monday for a District 5 title. That's actually over in baseball. Now we move to softball. Berkeley falls to Lexington, and they will host an elimination game on Monday against St. James. And Ashley Ridge is moving along with a 5-1 win. The District 8 championship for 5A is next for them. James Island, they fall by 10 runs in their game. As Oceanside, they also fall to Andrews. Over in 3A, Hanahan wins in a walk-off fashion over Dillon 5-4 as they prepare for the District 7 title on Wednesday.
The Sertoma Classic Football Jamboree has been a staple in Low Country high school football for years. How its cancellation is impacting coaches coming up after the break.
And now the OT Spotlight, sponsored by Big Bear Roofing.
Tuesday, we found out that the Sertoma Classic is canceled for this 2019 season. The president of the Charleston Sertoma Club, Sam King Jr., said that it's really just a matter of numbers. With only 8 members in the club, they can't successfully run a football jamboree. Falling ticket sales and loss of sponsors is another reason for the cancellation. King said that they didn't rule out that Sertoma could be back in the future, but they'll need dozens of new members. Football coaches around the Low Country expressed their disappointment in losing the Classic. RB Stall head coach Joe Bessinger said that he's been a part of it for 25 years as a player and a coach, so he's of course sad to see it go. North Charleston head coach Devin Smalls said, quote, "It was a glimpse of the college atmosphere that motivated you to play at the next level. Sad to see it go." Fort Dorchester head coach Steve LaPrade said it's been a fixture of the beginning of high school football season. And then Wando athletic director and former football coach Bob Hayes had this to say about the cancellation.
I think it's one of those things that was part of the fabric of this community for a long time. I've been in this area 32 years and took part in 32 of them, and it just was the kickoff to football. You know, not that long ago, every school in the Tri-County area was taking part of it, so it's sad to see it go. I think it's, you know, the saying is all good things must end. Sertoma was a really good thing for a long time in this community.
Clemson hoping to avoid the sweep to Georgia Tech. Yellow Jackets quick to take a lead in this one. Bottom of the first, Tristan English, he launches one, and just like that, it is 3-1 Tech. Going to fast forward to the 8th inning, and look out, here come the Tigers. Justin Hawkins, he's going to turn this high fly ball into a home run, and just like that, we're tied up at 7. And then afterwards, another one. Grayson Bird, he is going to get a straightaway center dinger here. Clemson going to take their first lead since the first inning. Now it's 10-7. Tigers added one more for good measure. Not the weekend they necessarily wanted, but they get one win in the books, 11-7. Gamecocks have not won an SEC series all of this year, and they weren't going to today. Already down 2 games to Missouri. They got the lead here, but Chris Cornelius, he says see ya. That one stays fair down the left field line, and Mizzou is going to tie it up. And then they would end up taking the lead with the liner in the gap, and that'll score a run. Tigers up 6-5 at this point. But the Gamecocks, they do have some fight in them. Chris Cullen, he's going to rip one that also stays just fair, and the RBI double is going to tie things up at 6. But Missouri, man, they were just too much in this one. Bottom of the 7th, Zimmerman, he's going to crush a homer, and Missouri, they sweep South Carolina 9-7 the final today.
The College of Charleston trying to rebound after yesterday's 14-4 loss, and things started off strong in the first. Chaz Davey, here's his first highlight, drives a single to right. Cougs are on the board in the first inning. But UNCW, they answer right away in the first. Next inning, CFC had the hot bats to Hart, the batter. Bloop into center's going to fall in, so another Cougar run scores. How about one more just for good measure? In the second, Davey again. He is on fire. Outfielders are back, so another falls in. 2 score. Cougs are up 4-1. The College hangs on to finish the series with a 10-3 win.
The Citadel on the road yet trying to avoid another sweep, and they can't get it done. UNCG wins it today 8-3 as the Dogs fall to 3-12 in conference play.
The River Dogs at home today before a 7-game road stretch. They're hosting the Columbia Fireflies. Pitching was key through the early part of this one. Alexander Vizcaíno on the hill again shut down the Fireflies through 7 innings, held them scoreless, and finished with 5 strikeouts before he came out of the game. A nice outing for him. And then the Dogs, they finally got on the board in the 4th inning. Brandon Lockridge started things off with a base hit. Then Wilkerman Garcia base knocked to the grass. Lockridge scores. It's 1-0. River Dogs take the series from the Fireflies with a 3-0 win today. They have a day off. Then they are on the road to Kannapolis. Now let's go to Talladega. The Geico 500. Austin Dillon on the pole to start. Bubba Wallace in third on lap 11. He gets sideways, loses control, takes out several drivers with him. That was one of several wrecks throughout the day, as there always is at Talladega. Now at the end of stage 1, it's Ty Dillon, Austin's younger brother. He takes the first stage win. 2 laps to go, Chase Elliott won stage 2. He leads the way when the white flag comes out, but at the back of the pack, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wrecks. There's no caution on this one, not a lot of damage, just a Stenhouse car. Then on the final lap, another wreck in the back. This one's bigger, brings out the caution, but Chase Elliott gets the win under the caution.
Brianna NASCAR, there is no marriage like it. Still more to come on News 2 Sports Overtime. Dabo Sweeney, he's bringing in the big bucks. A brand new segment is also coming up for you. We spent some time on the Sandy River shad fishing. Well, not me, it was her. That's coming up after a quick break.
Now, Carolina Connection, sponsored by Preferred Home Services.
If you're a big money saver, you know what that life is like. We're talking ripping out coupons, booking flights sometimes years in advance, ordering pickup, not delivery. Well, for Clemson head coach Dabo Sweeney, when the delivery guy gets to his door, he's going to give him quite the look when he gets to the tip line. That's because he broke ground on something never done before, the biggest coach contract in college football history. 10 years, $93 million. That's a lot of Chinese food. And for the Clemson AD, he says the deal was more about showing appreciation than it was with the man, than it was with the figures.
I think he's a generational coach. I mean, there's no coach better for Clemson than Dabo Sweeney. And just very excited to have that kind of put to bed.
Fair to say the game of the year so far for the Battery up to this point. Up in Memphis yesterday, no score in extra time until Dante Marini says, let's go home, folks. The goal off the rebound and the Battery pull out a miraculous win and a tough place to play at that. The look of devastation on the goalie says it all. Charleston takes it 1-0.
News 2 Outdoors, hunt, hook, and cook. Sponsored by Somerville Ford.
A new segment here called Hunt, Hook, and Cook. It's where we want to highlight the outdoor life here in the Low Country because there's so much of it. In episode 1, I got to go out to the Santee River for a little shad fishing. Hey y'all, I'm Brianne Welch. This is Hunt, Hook, and Cook. We're at Arrowhead here in front of the Santee River, and today we're going to do the hook part of this show because we're in front of the water. We're going to go out shad fishing today. I've never been. We're going to learn about catching shad, what shad are. We're going to learn all of that together today for Hunt, Hook, and Cook. So let's get to it, and hopefully we can get a lot of fish in the boat.
That fish elevator there.
On the way out to our spot, Captain E, host of Reelin' Up the Coast, gave me a brief tutorial on how we're going to catch the shad.
What we're going to be using are basically multiple hook rigs. They're called sabiki rigs.
Okay.
And all they're going after is that shad.
I found out you can fly fish for these kind of fish, and it's fun to do for sport, but I'm glad we did it because I had a hard enough time of regular casting.
I hope that was on camera. Did you get that? Hey, and the worst part is she's beating me. How's that casting coming?
Yeah, that one was better.
It looked like it.
We did catch a couple fish early on, then we had plenty more to come. Pointed out, I did catch more than my guide,
There we go.
even on the bad casts.
Look who caught a fish. No, you don't have one fish.
Oh my gosh.
You've got 3. No, you've got 4. You've got 4. Look at this. Oh, you lost one. You lost one. You lost one. There we go. Oh, there went another one. All right.
By the end of the day, we caught nearly 30 shad, 1 shad roe. Now these were gizzard shad. They're a little bit smaller than American shad. We didn't quite reach our limit, but for my first time shad fishing, it was a blast on the Santee River. That was a lot of fun, and we're going to have more segments like that. If you have any ideas that you want to share with us, Logan and I are both going to be working on these stories, or any family recipes, honey holes, anything that you think we should share about the Low
Really,
Country
any
outdoors.
excuse to eat is fine with us
Right.
if you want to do that.
Exactly. So go to our website, countont2.com, and visit the Hunt, Hook, and Cook tab, or email us, and we'd love to hear all of your ideas. Showcase the Low Country outdoors. Our gem of the week doesn't need any blessings. He's got them all. We'll explain coming up next.
Our gem of the week is subtle, but it's oh so important. An earth-shattering moment after Quinnen Williams was drafted 3rd overall, as he's in an interview talking about the day, and then this majesty happens right after.
The different character things. Listen, thank you that I got here. So
We got the sneeze. He blesses himself, and then not only that, he proceeds to thank himself all in one swoop in about a millisecond. And if that's not belief in yourself, I don't really know what is.
And now, OT's The Talker,
You know he's
sponsored
definitely
by
done that before.
Bojangles.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's definitely sneezed and then blessed himself.
And now he can
thanks
do it a
himself,
lot.
too.
He can do it a lot more because he's in the NFL and he was picked 3rd overall.
Yeah,
Who's going to tell him he
exactly.
can't do it?
Yeah, he's going to be like, and he was so confident about it. He was just like,
He's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
All right, in the Stanley Cup playoffs, here's a couple of things that are going on this week and that we just want to keep you updated with. Former Stingrays head coach Jared Bednar, now the head coach of the Colorado Avalanche. He helped lead his team to a 4-3 win today over the San Jose Sharks. The Carolina Hurricanes, after beating the Capitals, they lead their next series 2-0. They won 2-1 today over the Islanders. Then we have the high school playoffs, of course, for baseball and softball continue tomorrow. And then the high school playoffs start for soccer. That starts this week. So we've got a lot of high school stuff to talk about. The River Dogs are on the road, but we've still got plenty of stuff in town that we can talk about.
The thing that's not mentioned there is that if you want to talk about it at your water cool, it's going to be very interesting stuff. My Bruins and then our web editors, Blue Jackets, in a series right now tied at
It's going to be heated
Yeah, so
in the newsroom.
I mean, we can start documenting it. There's a lot of trash going on, right? A lot of trash talk, I should say.
I think we should. After my Predators lost, I have no stake
That's
in it
true.
really anymore. So
And you have to
we'll
choose
see.
which one that you're going to cling to because you can't stay on the fence for it. I'm still waiting, very eager.
I haven't chosen this one yet. This series I can't choose.
It's time before Game 3. It's going to be very important
We'll
stuff,
take it.
though.
Yeah, so it's very important things that we talk about here throughout
so
the week.
talk about it with your friends.
Thank you so much for watching News 2 Sports Overtime with us. We will be right back here next Sunday, and you can catch us all week long. Have a great week.